Now at noon, parts of North Spokane County are under level 3 evacuations this morning. We have team coverage.
And we're tracking not only the hazy and hot conditions, but the air quality as a result from the several wildfires burning across Washington and Idaho.
And Washington state health officials are looking into whether variants are playing a role in breakthrough cases. Hi everyone, welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Tim Pham. We do begin with team coverage now at noon. Our crews are spread out across the region. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is tracking hot and hazy weather. Brandon T. Jones has new details from a fire near the apartments near TJ Meanock. But we begin first with Nicole Hernandez. She's joining us live from the Hazard Hill fire just 10 miles northwest of Meade. Nicole, what's the latest?
Yeah, that's right. Good. That's right, Tim. So right now we are on Austin Road, which is right on the edge of that evacuation spot. So everything behind me right now is what is in that evacuation zone, that level 3 evacuation. So take a look behind me here. You can see that helicopter that's above that ridge right there, above that hill. This is air support that's been coming in, dropping retardant and water onto this fire. At this point, we've seen this helicopter twice now. We saw a few planes as well going overhead, dropping that. Of course, just part of the process here to try to get this fire completely contained. Last check this morning, we spoke with firefighters who said that the last time they were able to get a good feel on the fire, it was about 50 to 75 acres here, but of course close to these residential areas, which is why it's so critical that they get that air support in to start slowing down the fire. We do have a look about what it looked like yesterday as well. You can see back yesterday there was also visible smoke in the air, just like we're seeing right now. But last night we were able to speak with a resident who actually had to evacuate his home.
This neighbor right here behind me came running up and said, hey, we got a fire coming this way. And then right as he was exiting, I started pulling the hoses out, and then the sheriff came and said, hey, you guys probably think how to getting out. About 2 minutes behind him, the fire chief came and said, hey, you guys gotta get out now.
So as of right now, crews do not know what sparked this fire at this point, but DNR and state resources as well as local firefighters are of course working on combating this fire along with the air support that's coming in right now. Have our photographer Nate, if you can zoom in on those planes, they're coming in. They have been dropping water here every, I'd say, 4 or 5 minutes. They've been coming in and dropping water, going and collecting it, coming back. Hopefully we can keep it on this shot until they drop water. But again, we're seeing a lot less smoke right now, so it looks like firefighters have been able to combat some of the direct active flame, of course, with help from these planes as well. Earlier this morning, we saw a lot more of that billowing dark smoke. Now we're seeing more, just a little bit of that clear smoke coming up as well. So it looks like they're making progress, but of course, the biggest thing is getting this contained so that there's no chance that it re-sparks anywhere else and puts any of these residential houses in danger. So we'll, of course, be following this. We'll be giving updates throughout the day, but I'll send things back to you guys for now.
Our team coverage continues now. Spokane firefighters are working to put out hotspots on a fire that got dangerously close to apartments near TJ Meanock. Brandon T. Jones has new images of the fire and spoke one-on-one with the fire chief.
Well, you can't tell right now, but just behind me last night, this was a complete orange glow. There was fire burning inside of that timber, and there's apartment complexes right next door. So the Spokane Fire Department had to react. There was a whole bunch of other fires going on out in District 4, District 3. So they had to come out here and get it under control, get a line underway, and protect those apartments from getting caught in the flames. So I actually had a conversation with the fire chief of the Spokane Fire Department, Brian Schaefer. He was telling me just how intense the flames were this morning. It was a little bit more out of control. They still got crews down there trying to get it taken care of, but take a listen to what Brian had to say. He had a lot of good information.
We were already focusing the majority of resources up to Fire District 4 to support those fires and the normal business that certainly didn't stop. We were still having our normal 150 or so calls a day that were occurring in our system. When this occurred, we diverted some of those resources. We recalled some personnel off duty, and we were able to catch it at 1/4 of an acre before it made its way to those apartments.
So what Brian was really trying to stress was that this is an extremely busy season that we're living in right now. The fires are so unpredictable, but if there's any way that you can help prevent them in any type of possible manner, that means no campfires, no tossing out cigarette butts, anything that'll prevent any of these fires from popping off, make sure you're doing that to try to help out some of these firefighters. From Doomsday Hill, I'm Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Look outside now. Here's a view of Coeur d'Alene. You can see more clouds moving in compared to this morning. Not much blue skies as wildfires continue to burn in the inland northwest. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick in the Outdoor Weather Center. Thomas, gosh, we do not want to see hazy skies, but you are tracking hot and hazy weather this afternoon.
Yeah, and most of this week, Tim, it's going to be just hot and hazy at times. Right now from our Outdoor Weather Center, there's a very thin layer of some cirrus clouds, maybe a bit of haze mixed in, but it's not terribly much because that sun is just beating on my neck very hard at this noon hour. In fact, it's already 89 degrees and we'll be on our way to the mid-90s this afternoon. Air quality in Spokane is in the good stage. In fact, late afternoon hours, we saw a bit of that haze did depart from the morning hours, and we're expecting things to be mainly around moderate, maybe small air quality drops at times, but nothing that's going to be significant, at least for Spokane. Areas up north are going to have a different story because with so many fires burning in northern Washington, particularly in Okanogan County, including the Cub Creek fire, these are the locations that are going to continue to see unhealthy air quality at times as we continue to track that smoke and haze through the area. Here we go today, mid-90s for the high temperatures today, even with some cirrus clouds, a little bit of cloud cover moving in, maybe some relief in the form of some sprinkles come tomorrow. It won't be much, but it might be enough to just take the edge off as we look for temperatures close to 100 degrees late this week.
Well, in Okanogan County, 5 miles north of Winthrop, is the Cub Creek 2 fire. That fire is burning nearly 43,000 acres and it's 10% contained. Level 3 evacuations are in place for Cub Creek, Spookhaven, Uphill, and South Heaton roads. Also, under Level 3 evacuations are Riverbend Drive and Cottonwood Lane. People who live on East and West Chewach roads north of Winthrop are under Level 2 evacuation orders, as are those living on the north end of Rendezvous Road and along Little Cub Creek and 5215 roads. Moving on now to Athol, Idaho, where the Bruner fire has now grown to 75 acres. Now, at last check on Friday, that's when Silverwood Theme Park was forced to shut down, but they did reopen on Saturday. Fire crews with Kootenai County Fire and Rescue say all residents can return to their homes. They believe they have the fire, quote, under control, for now at least, and it's about 75% contained. Right now, North Cascades Highway remains closed. It's from milepost 165 to 185, and this is about 9 miles west of Winthrop. It remains closed due to fire activity in that area. This closure is expected to remain in place through July. Well, Longhorn Barbecue is helping firefighters across our region. The Airway Heights restaurant is donating breakfast, lunch, and dinner for crews to fill in the gap before base camps can be set up. Now, this is a long-going tradition for the restaurant that began actually in Firestorm of 1991. Longhorn supported crews at Deer Park, Kellogg, Pritchard, and Cheney. This year, they will help with fires as far away as 150 miles. Now, if you're wondering how you can help fire crews in Idaho, we have a list with just that. The Idaho Department of Land says the best thing to donate is pallets of water and hydrating sports drinks to help crews fight dehydration. They also need refrigerator trucks and trailers in the Coeur d'Alene area to transport ice and supplies to base camps. Those donations can be made to the Coeur d'Alene Interagency Fire Cache. That address is there on your screen. If you live outside of Coeur d'Alene and want to help, though, the Idaho Department of Land says a good way is to make a monetary donation to the Wildland Firefighter Foundation. Still ahead on the news at noon, King County is recommending mask wearing even for fully vaccinated people. So could the mask return? What the CDC is saying coming up in 2 minutes.